So KiDi joins us live in the studio in a couple of minutes as well as he joins us in the big studio after that performance right about now. So how about we do a quick countdown to see the man as he gallops.
Gallops.
Advancing jumps as he, I mean, it's good for us to have an exclusive with him here, in the studio.
Yep.
I mean,
Well, second exclusive.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, he did one with the Links team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
He's almost here.
Hello.
Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Jamaica woman, me and your fan living there.
I don't know how to say this in Ghana. Let me try.
We beg
you. Lyrics me small la.
At least he has a hang of what he wants to say.
Action.
May action you go
Hey.
Thank God it's an English show.
I'm sure.
Hey, you butcher the thing like that.
Wait, I want to understand something real quick. Just run me through the lyrics for real. Like, I know it's a very short song.
So, if I tell you, say I'm okay, I lie. Everything I feel in my heart and soul.
Yeah.
Oh, I should see me so. I'm smiling, but I'm dead inside. Look into my eye, you see the pain inside. I don't wanna chill, I wanna stay inside. Wah. If I show you my liver, you go take me to prayer. Don't wait till I'm under 6 feet, I'm gone. And then go tell you he was strong. Would them go sing my songs? Make nobody call my phone. I've always been on my own.
The lyrical dexterity.
So many things, man, I see for life. And if you know, be mama, how I feel survive. That be the reason why I call Susanna. Make she come and hold my body. I dey solo. Because say, nobody go forgive me the ginger. Wow, I'm in pain. Somebody shut the door to my finger. Nobody knows the things that I be going through. Nobody knows the things that I be going through now.
Hey, Charlie. Bro.
So
in my days, right?
I like that capella says fast.
Why is Lenny telling me to sing?
Please, don't spoil the
we beg you. Make a kneel down. I go feel kneel for years. The whole show. Bro, remember one, I go feel down the whole show.
I shock small.
Relax.
Charlie, Lily, this phone.
And I wanna ask this. Sometimes people get into the elements when they're writing the music by listening to the instrumentation, or I want to ask which came first.
Yeah, I get inspired by instrumentation a lot. Sometimes when I walk into a studio to make it for a session, the first thing that pushes me is the beat. Yeah. The beat is the rhythm. That's what gets you like going, puts you in a zone. So it's always the beat.
Okay, you're gonna find out where I'm driving at very soon. So who produced the beat?
Vampire beat.
Vampire. Yeah. Okay, when did he send this beat to you?
No, actually, we recorded this before I left for the Grammys.
Okay, so how long ago was that?
31st January. Yeah, that's when this song was recorded.
That's when this song was recorded.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a moment of
I know. I've been wanting to say for people to know that this song was recorded in January.
In January.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration for writing the song?
Charlie, that day
at that time,
studio, everybody they go through for the studio. Wow. Everybody, like my road manager, my DJ. He doesn't want me to say that. I'll say my DJ, the producer himself, everybody. Yeah. But we go into the studio and we're just having a conversation. Sometimes we don't just walk in and start the session. We're just like talking about life. And like that, Charlie. All you need to ask somebody is, "How are you,
Charlie?"
Things they're okay.
And 9 out of 10 times they will lie. Yes. And that is why I said, if I tell you I'm okay, and always say, like, I don't have to come and tell you, oh, I'm not fine. Then it leads to more questions. Then you have to ask,
what did you do?
Yeah. So sometimes to make it easier for everybody, oh, Charlie, are they okay? Like, we day inside.
Yeah.
No boys, we day inside.
Makes sense.
Yeah, sometimes, Charlie, that question, how are you?
Especially when you're more than an example. Especially when you're in a company of other men. I think Wallace said the same thing. Yeah. Like, man, we don't like to open up. Yep. Like, Charlie, I'll be okay, I'll be fine. Oh, Charlie. Yeah. Everything be cool. Charlie, go be.
But I think it's also society.
No. Charlie, this sad video.
But also, I think it's a societal thing, right? We've been conditioned unconsciously to answer, how are you? I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine.
So
That's the first thing
I'm
that
fine,
comes to mind.
but are you really fine?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's another behind that answer.
We don't see how are you as a question. We see it as a salutation.
A salutation,
Exactly.
yeah.
Charlie,
Right.
let me read this to you, okay? This was a convo we had last week, Friday, exactly a week ago. I'm not mentioning the name, but exactly a week ago, after our conversation in the studio, a guy sent me this message on IG. He says, Jay, he says, may God bless you and your team so much for this big convo with Walasi. He said, I've been spiritually related, bro. Swears, had tears at some point of the convo. You saved a life because lately I've been battling suicide thoughts, bro. He goes on to say, he says, my mental health is, he used the F word, but I've had a help this week from you guys, and I swear I wanted to die. And the rest, it says, but all is well. Listening to Wala, I shed tears. He says he's my biggest artist. He goes on to say, I just want to thank you and your team and your crew. You saved me in a way, and I hope to get better with time. He says, I did struggle. I don't know if he sleep.
I hope he's still with us.
Yeah, he is.
Have you checked on him since?
Don't make me look bad. but
let's hit him up.
Yeah, I think you should.
So for you, prior to the solitude you went into, prior to that, in reference to the song, were there any moments where you've had, what kind of down moments have you had with this whole KiDi brand you carry?
Like I said earlier, it's been, we keep forgetting that it's been a very tough couple of years for everybody. Like from 2019 ending to 2020, what befell the whole world, and having to live through that and reassess, reevaluate, reshape, re-strategize our whole entire lives. A lot of people have not been able to recover from that, unfortunate event. And even if you add like people's personal family issues, people's everyday struggles, I realized that, listen, it's been really tough. And even for me, as an artist, we're always like, we have to put up like that front of, oh, Charlie, hey, me dear, I'll be superstar, hey, I'll be okay, But the human sides of us, we all have like our individual things that we wish were right. We wish, what's happening in our lives that are not happening. And around that time that I made the song, that was what it was for me. I was like, you know what? There's an unspoken emotion that, like she said, society doesn't allow us to often speak about, but it's been quite tough, having to figure out your life. I had plans of what I would be by age 30, and sometimes it's crazy to see that my birthdays are the days where I'm saddest.
Birthday blues.
It's the days that I reflect and it's like, hey, I made plans when I was 19 that like by this age I'm supposed to be here and there, but I'm not there. And I go through the blues and go through it, and I dust myself up and tell myself, listen, like, you're not there yet, but you're still alive, you're still going, You don't have to, the mental time we've put on our dreams and goals is what is like holding us back sometimes. So, we go through all these little emotions of, achievement, goals, family, friends, career. There's so many things, and it takes a toll on us as humans, but we still got to dust off and move, because the world doesn't stop. When something is happening, the world doesn't pause and say, oh, make a pause, make you go through what you go through, then we will continue. The world keeps revolving.
Yeah, when you, sometimes, and I'm going to make this, I want you to give us a very relatable instance where maybe someone even tweeted, posted, commented something about you that took you to bed and got you almost in tears, or
that one they're like, I'm not gonna finish it.
No, it's just one.
Sometimes you put me on the spot, I can't remember exactly.
Okay.
But even in this, when the song has been out, if I tell you like the message, the guys, if I tell how many messages like that I've gotten from people you would think that they have life figured out, and you're like, bro, when I heard your song, you have no idea, bro. I relate because only I know the things that I battle with in my private life behind closed doors. And it's tough for everybody.
Speaking of people having life figured out, you said something that has me very curious. That, by this age, I should be this, I should have that, blah, blah, blah. But anybody, including us here, when we look at you,
please add the number of streams that you mentioned that clocks on touch it every month.
Like bro, exactly. No, like to the audience, to anybody out there, they'll be like, KiDi power. What?
Exactly.
So I want to know if it's an inward thing. Those milestones are your little treasure in your corner. It's not about the glitz. Charlie, you've been on world stages, world tours, blah, bro. So if you say by age this, that, I don't get something, so people go rush us for here.
Watch the video we just played before you come.
Yeah.
E and Eugene.
Yeah. Bro, like Chelsea.
You see, this is what it is, you know. To the world out there looking in from outside. Like you said, how dare you? But again, when I think of the things you just said, then I'm filled with gratitude because like it's a lot. Like everything happening now is something I prayed for, you know. So when I think of everything God has done from the good things that are happening in my life, I'm filled with gratitude. But at the same time, only I know where my vision is and where I'm trying to get to. But with time, I've had to tell myself that enjoy the journey instead of like putting a limitation on your mind. You have to be here, you have to be there, you have to do this, you have to do that. The beauty is in the everyday journey. That is where the story is, not the destination, because really there's no destination. At 40, probably will win 1,000 Grammys, perform to every big city, and still feel like I've not done enough because I'm quite hard on myself sometimes, you know. So I've had to tell myself a lot that don't be too hard on yourself. Enjoy what you're doing, be grateful, and just be happy doing what you're doing.
Hit me with some of those milestones. Those KiDi only I know. I mean, let's talk, bro. What? Because. You want to play football? Now when you talk last time, you pass. The guy we asked now fans if match. So that one there, we go deal with that. The last 5 minutes, I will grill you on that. And what's the time? The Arsenal issue there, the last 5 minutes, then we fight for them.
I've gone through a lot of that.
Oh no. I'll take you back. But like, what could possibly be a milestone that KiDi wakes up and feels sad about that? Damn, I didn't get this. Damn, I didn't do that. What? Because from where everybody sits, bro. If you don't tell us, we'll never believe, bro.
Fancy cars.
Oh, it's not. I mean, all of that is part, but like, I want to live. God help me. God grant me the grace and good health. I want to live the good, opulent, fulfilled, happy life. You know. And now I feel like I'm still on my way there, and I felt like I planned my life that I'll be a star at 19.
Through whichever industry, career?
No, it was supposed to be music. I mean, I loved other things, but music was always my first love. I planned at 19. I used to watch like Justin Bieber and Austin Mahomes and Jaden Smith. I'm like,
it must happen.
It must happen. But it took long. And I said on the day I won Artist of the Year, delay is never denial. You know, so things have happened, like you said, streams, platinum song, global stages, touring around the world. I've been to places that Australia, like 1,000-hour flight to Australia, like to perform. That day on stage, I felt like, listen, I'm from some place in
a small dot.
Cool. Today, like I'm performing to like people in different corners of the world, and don't get me wrong, I'm so grateful for that. Like I said, everything happening are things I prayed for. You know, so I'm glad to be here.
Did you pray for the solitude, the 60-day solitude? So this is what happens. So I'm like, I'm there, and then I get a call, and he's like, please, is KiDi okay? I said, but why are you asking me? do I look alike? Why are you asking me? He says, but you are there, you are supposed to know. And you got the world concerned, you know, in that 60 day. What was happening in 60 days?
So I remember I was in Belize for a show, somewhere middle of February, right? And I was on stage performing, and you know when you're doing something and something isn't right, you feel like something isn't right.
You're forcing it.
Yeah. And like I said, music has always been my purpose and my first love. So I felt like at every point in time, if I'm doing a thing and I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, then there is cause for worry. And I felt that on that stage. When I got off the stage, I felt like, And like I said, even from the time I made the music in January, all through that, it was being small things coming together. Like it was taking a toll on me. I was overwhelmed, and it was even beginning to start to affect my physical health. You know, I wake up in the morning, my voice is gone. I have a studio session, I have a performance, and I can't sing. You know, and it became a worry for me because I was just about to go on tour, and I was like, this is going to be my first ever solo tour. I want it to be great. And if at this point in time I feel like there's something wrong with me, I need to take time to fix it. You know, because if I go into this with how half I am, it won't be great. So I took that time, and I wanted to heal physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all of that, and come back stronger. So it was crazy to me that somebody would just pick that statement and coin, decide that this is what they think is possibly the problem, and throw that out there and create a frenzy. You know, is that a frenzy or what I'm looking for?
A disturbance.
Thank you.
But when you got off that stage, KiDi, what was the first thing that hit you that you had to do? Because then there is a problem. Yeah. So first off, would you just jump straight into solution mode, or did you have to get into yourself? What was the reaction?
I like to wallow in my emotions a bit before I always jump into solution. I'm that guy. If I don't go through emotions, I won't come out of it. I only can come out of it if I go through. So I'm not the person that puts my, So when I got off it, I was like, I remember we were doing like a little meet and greet. So like for the next hour, just taking pictures with fans, just smiling. Hey, KiDi, oh wow, thank you for coming.
We saw you on the what they call it, the pier. What they call it on the river bank, not the bank, the sea. Close US.
The beach.
The beach.
Was it
you already said it? The bank.
River bank. I don't know if it was a river or a lake or, but like
it's a bank.
It was nice. It was
so
nice.
I mean, was it that? Is there a fear of being so big so fast? As much as you wanted things at a certain time, is there a fear of being so big so fast that there's pressure? Like, so the next 10 years, what I go do? Do you get in that mindset? And when you spoke about getting on stage and realizing the vibe change, is it that you've done it so much that the drug don't hit no more, bro?
No, I don't think that's what it is.
No, what was it?
The stage is my happy place. Like that's the one.
But you weren't
place.
happy. You got on there. And
that's why I know that it had nothing to do with what was going on the stage. It was inward.
Inside,
So that had to be fixed, because when things happen and you don't fix it, imagine I go into the tour, then it keeps piling up. And even the tour, I would never give 100% of myself.
What was happening that was not fixed? That started at the stage.
What was not happening?
What was happening in you?
Like I said, there's so many things, obviously, I can't talk about in public. There's like a lot of background battles.
Give me the generics. You don't have to give me details.
But like I said, it's career-wise. Like there's so many things that you want to be right that are not right. There's so many places you want to be that you are not yet. There's so many things you want to achieve that you haven't achieved yet. There's so many things you want your family to be enjoying that they're not enjoying yet. And again, the society, as a man, I want to make sure everybody is good around me, and things weren't just clicking.
Why were things not clicking? Was it that look? It takes 5 minutes to boil an egg, right? If you want it in 2 minutes, you go chop raw egg. So is it about
say what I don't want, but I don't want to say.
No. You don't have to give me details, bro. But give me an idea. Put me in the ballpark. Like it's like I know they are playing a game, but I don't know whether it's basketball or football. At least tell me what we're dealing with here. Yeah, I go worry. I'll tell him outside already. I go worry, so he knows. Bro, talk to me. What I want to know, because everybody was concerned. 99% of the people who reached out.
I think maybe to make it easier for him, maybe we could just categorize them. So
that's what I'm saying. That I don't even want us to categorize it. Of course, there's the spiritual element to our lives. There's the mental, psychological. There's the emotional. There's the interpersonal relationships. That's exactly what I want him to say. That look, okay, big star. Everything is going well, but when it came to my family life and this, I felt this way.
Yeah, but you answer me. I talk bank. You answer me.
No. You answer. If you pay attention to him, swear. He knows he's swear.
Okay, all right,
the smiley response of me say he agrees with me. Bro, talk to me.
I'm sure he's thinking of how to.
Yeah.
No, I'm not thinking how to. I know that I can't go there because these are things that obviously,
Yeah. Okay, let's take it from. I am more interested in the spiritual aspect. Sometimes when you get into that space where, you feel like you are beyond reach, or God is beyond reach, you are praying, you're not getting answers, and you're wondering, okay, has God left me? Is that how you were feeling during that period?
No.
Did you feel like your faith had waned over the time, or something?
As for that, in life, you always have like lapses of that, you know, but it wasn't that particular thing at that time.
Okay.
It had very less to do with spirituality.
Okay.
And more to do with mental.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it was a spiritual. It was more to do with mental. I needed to the mind controls everything.
Right.
And once one aspect of your life is affected by the mental, it trickles down into other aspects of your life, and everything becomes just a mess,
Let me ask you,
okay. You've been around for 7 years.
Yeah.
For the last 7 years, consistently,
back to back.
I think I was telling Ricky or someone yesterday that it was just this year you hadn't gotten anything from VGMAs.
Yeah.
But every single time, KiDi since he stepped into the industry for the last 7 years, he's been acknowledged.
Actually, we worry you.
Yeah, every single year.
That also kind of like
performances.
that kind of also took like a toll on me because I felt bent out in a way.
Yeah, because like expectations are too
Because
high.
I don't think it has to do with
back to back.
expectation. It's like like you said, since I came, there's been no pause. There's been no stop. It's been from next song to another, next album to another, next stage to another. After winner artist of the year, the next month when I wake up, what next?
Well, you know
What
somebody's praying for that, right?
Yes, that's why I say when I think of all of that, you know, sometimes humans you can forget.
Yeah.
Then you take a step back, like, but I'm actually grateful for this. Like I prayed for this, so I cannot complain. You know.
Now, talking about the mental and burnout, right?
Did they ask you a question?
You won't come down. You won't bring them down. But the mental and burnout, I understand when you say that you had to take time off to heal and to get better, right? But now looking forward with the break that you took, how would you say that has helped you coming back now? Because now we understand that KiDi needed a break,
Lenny,
so he got that
this
break.
is the question.
Jay, hold on, please.
Finish.
KiDi needed a break, and he got that break. Now that you've gotten the break and you are back, how are you?
Wait, hold on. That is the end question. Don't ask that one.
Jay.
The reason I'm asking that is because let's go back to before the period, before he tells us how he's feeling now. I'm just pleading with you. Just so that
write the question down so you don't forget. Write it down.
Yeah.
Write it down.
KiDi, how do you feel now? I'm not forgetting that question from Lenny. It's a big one. Me, I want to know what you were doing within the period of the break. What was your lifestyle like when you went on a pause? That feeds into what you become now.
Yeah, so I realized that one aspect of that is I realized that a lot of sometimes how I feel myself is that I expect too much from myself, from everybody. I make people's actions affect me. So I remember at that time, I just told myself that, listen, I have to do a complete overhaul of my brain, reset myself, reset how I think, how I approach people, my outlook on life. Like I said, getting out of that over expectation, over like burden on myself, taking life one day at a time, telling myself that, listen, it's okay to just let things be and not always worry and make. I feel like that wasn't even enough time for me to recalibrate my mind because I needed that to set my mind straight, and that will propel me in how I deal with future.
So you cut yourself off social media, which was,
Everything.
it's good because the distractions in there.
It was
were
just,
you on any diet? Were you watching movies?
I took that time as the first time in my music career that I have to wake up in the morning and not think about music. And not think about what's the next song, where are we performing next.
Was that easy? Because music is what
it's not. It wasn't easy
because you love it.
Like I was comes that even in that time where I told myself that, listen, the first time in my life I'll wake up in the morning and have no thoughts on my music. Even in that time, I was still thinking about
and walking around humming.
Like I'm pacing up and down my living room, and I'm watching a movie, and I get an idea, and if you listen to my voice memo, and I'm like, I'm not supposed to be thinking about music now, and I'm still doing melodies.
Was that like a fear of missing out? Did you have that?
Yes. Listen,
yeah, because
this is my passion.
It's
not
going.
easy to just put it aside and say, listen, for this time, it's impossible. But I tried. I did as much as possible, and it was quite reduced. I wake up, eat. My mother probably will cook, bring me food. My son will come and visit. We'll spend time and just dance. Have conversations, just family time, and not think of anybody else. Not think about what the fans are saying in my DMs. What the fans are saying, KiDi, we want this, KiDi, hey, KiDi. None of that. Block the noise. And just focus on me and my mind and setting myself in a correct path.
I know social media is addictive, right? When I say addictive, not in a negative sense, but we all you close the app and the next thing you do is you open it.
Yeah. As if something new.
As if something new.
Make I help you.
How hard?
I can talk for you. This man, if you opening phone sometimes before the show, you go look something and you go, oh my god.
So Jay no taking pills this morning, so that'll be why I didn't misbehave. So I mean, how hard was it? Even me, and if he talks to Charlie, I've finished these proposals, so then there's a wellness mode on the phone, and then it blocks all your social media apps. And if you on, I'm off the wellness mode because I want to check timeline. How hard was it?
No, at this time, even on a normal day, I do that. But this time, I make sure I did that more.
So excuse me.
Notifications of I don't want to see anything pop up. No, if I don't actively decide to click the app, I don't want to see anything going on.
Yeah, so how does it work?
How's that fight?
The notification thing, how do you handle yours? Because I can imagine
no, it's off usually.
Always off.
Yeah,
okay.
because it's gone. I'm
the temptation to sneak in, have a dummy account, just pass the back of the TL and see what they happen.
It's I needed that thing for myself, because then what's the purpose of doing this if I'm still in the thing I'm trying to distance myself from, So it's just like
I'm curious to find out, KiDi. I know you did this for yourself, but did you have like some kind of clinical psychologist or someone helping you? Okay,
I did.
What's the experience like? Because most of the time that our friends in the music industry don't really have the opportunity to engage
entertainment industry.
Well, a clinical psychologist. You've had the opportunity to do that. What's the experience like?
To be honest, before that happened, I'd always wanted to do that because I felt like Cyril needs therapy. You need therapy. You need therapy. Everybody needs therapy.
Thank God for mentioning his name in particular.
I need therapy.
Everybody needs therapy. If you speak to people and you observe, everybody needs therapy. I've always wanted to get therapy. For some of like the trauma things that like I'm dealing with now, and as an adult, how like my mind is opening enough to admit to myself that this is coming from something that led me here. So I've always wanted to do that, but it's always tough because, yes, I know there are code of ethics in these things, but I could never be trusting enough to tell somebody because don't forget, the person knows who I am, knows the people I deal with. Imagine like example.
Disclaimer, example.
Use
bloggers, we beg you be example.
Use
Okay, let me use you. Yeah. So like maybe me and Jay they vex me and they do some things and they trigger me. It's always triggering me. It's making me do certain things that I don't want to do. Maybe I'm in a therapy session and doctor asked me, that leads to me talking about there's this guy called Jay. Then obviously the doctor knows who I'm talking about. And I say, I could never trust myself or trust the person that they won't go home and have the conversation with somebody else. This is a real fear. I'm not bold. This is a real fear that they will go and speak about the things that are meant to be. Because, to be honest, we are in a part of the world where nothing really works.
Content is everything.
I woke up yesterday in the morning and a thought just came to mind. I wanted to label one thing that actually works in this part of the world.
Gossip.
If I say work, last thing, there is no system since I started school. There is no system.
That's facts. That's a sad fact.
Actually works.
Sad facts.
Even incompetence, they are late at being incompetent.
Ooh.
No. I'm like,
sure.
There's nothing that works. So I'm thinking, if nothing works, if I was somewhere that I know things, I could open up to a therapist and tell you everything and know that it is stuck there. But now my mind telling me nothing works. So if I tell you, what's the guarantee that you won't go have every conversation I have with somebody?
And let me just clarify this as well. Now, these are sometimes, everybody has a right to opinion on how they feel. So, because sometimes I know people can take things out of context, and just listen. But these are people's personal opinions on how they feel about things. So please, nobody should just take it out of context and try and use it to slam on yours and miscommunicate.
Everybody's thing is tailored to them and their experiences.
And I can understand because a friend of mine had an issue at a prominent hospital where he lost his old man, and to him at that minute nothing worked. Like you're saying, nothing works. Equally, somebody has gone to that system and it has worked for the person. To the person it works. So that's what I want people to understand, that these are tailored to people's experiences. Which is very important.
I think even what he's saying, I'm now beginning to understand why creatives or even the entertainment industry here wouldn't want to seek such help.
It's true.
It looks very realistic. It looks very believable.
That's what I wanted to ask him.
Because it's like we've not heard of stories of doctors or nurses, gossiping to other people,
code.
or even taking videos and pictures of people who have come to their sessions, and by virtue of somebody screen recording it, it went viral. They couldn't control it. So I'm now looking at it like, okay, maybe this is why some of our friends in the music industry, entertainment industry, don't want to actually look for help on the other side and want to just search within the internal. Like, for example, I think Adoma said the same thing, about going to therapy. Exactly, So if it's something that we really need to look at, because if you are really preaching mental health,
we should make a safe space.
Exactly.
But I want to ask again, which one was tougher? The fear of being betrayed by the person you're talking, the therapist, or the chance of opening up, because let me use myself as an example. I think there are people I can really talk to who I'm sure that will take go anywhere. But for me to open up,
that's
to come
another
tell you,
hurdle.
Charlie, the thing
I
don't. Charlie, even saying it now, come through. You understand?
Yeah, there's that as well.
Yeah, how was that? Like KiDi, big star. Now you did some office, you sit on couch inside, or you talk by some table, you talk to somebody, and tell Charlie, I mess up the thing. Like, when was the last time you said that to anybody, anywhere? And then to just have to open your most negative, the kind of worms of your worst side, and just keep shoveling. How scary
that is like
that?
one big hurdle, because outside of everything else is working, that is actually a main thing. Admitting to yourself and telling yourself that this thing I did,
You mess up.
yes,
I mess up. Me do the thing they pay me do them.
Self accountability. Like, see, it's to be honest, it's another tough, and that's why it took me so long to ever even consider it, because I was like, I have to actually admit that.
Sometimes we're lying to ourselves a lot.
Me too. I know correct small. Like,
we all turn out. We are part of it.
Who were the people who were very concerned? I mean, the fans, but all of us asking these questions were concerned. But who were the ones closest to you who should be most concerned on this?
My family. My mom, she suffered. Because when that fake thing broke out, she was the one that, Charlie,
hit her.
You see, put yourself in her shoes as a mother. Then they talk these things about your son. And that morning, before I had like a long conversation on the phone with her, she had to still call again to make sure that
verify.
Are you telling me the truth?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Like, so she had to come to the house, like, come in. And even the longest time, she also had to deal with, our parents.
Their personal,
They like other people, oh, my son is my son is fine, and then everybody's calling, where your son is this? People recommending neurologists and whatever
Charlie.
things.
The stress.
Like,
over Sabi.
The stress. But we've had this so many times. I feel like entertainers to an extent, carry the burdens of, their personal lives, the people around them, their fans and fans' expectation, right? And you mentioned that people have reached out to you, especially with the release of the song. People you wouldn't even think are going through whatever they are going through. What has been that one thing that you've said to all of them? Because getting help is important. It's normal for us to think that, oh, okay, this is what I'm going through, and easily diagnose that it is depression. But again, we had a psychologist here who said, until you are diagnosed clinically that is depression, it could be anything else.
Yeah. One thing I always ask everybody across board, I ask, do you have somebody you talk to? Because the psychologist and clinical is one aspect, but in your life, can you imagine the decay you are keeping to yourself if you don't open your mouth and just sometimes having a conversation with somebody and just saying the thing out loud just lets the power go. So I ask, do you actually have somebody you talk to in your life? Because that is the first point of...
Who did you talk to?
I have friends who stick with me, like we've been friends for years, that stick with me through.
They're not in the industry.
Mother, no, they don't
just
business
outside. Yeah.
My mother, she was like constantly, as a mother, constantly behind
job deal.
Yes, so I'm blessed with that. To be honest, I'm blessed with people in my life that I can open up without fear of shame, without fear of judgment, without fear of what they are probably thinking in their head, and I'm blessed with that. And those people have helped me through like a lot of...
What's the plan on Mother's Day like? It's on Sunday.
Yeah, it's on Sunday.
Mother's Day is on Sunday.
Oh, we have that. On me there, we don't get a problem.
I'm actually curious to find out.
Main girl, no.
Her birthday is 14th February, so like every year.
Oh, snap.
I know.
A tussle.
If you are my girlfriend, please have to understand.
Sweet.
That
What a way to escape that. What a way.
How was your son taking all of this though?
At his age, obviously, he doesn't get the scope of everything.
Right.
But to him, where he is, and he just goes to school and everything is, they say your dad, your dad. And he comes to come and ask me that, hey, daddy, they said this. I'm like, look at me, you see, we are dancing, we're good,
So you're not only dealing with
added stress.
Yeah. You are dealing with your son as young as he is to just try and unwire the fact that people are telling him But why the other children
like
were telling
take
him
away like the family, then my team. Don't forget I work with brands who are also in the mix of what is going on. Like, is everything okay? It was, to be honest, it was one of the toughest moments in my life. Dealing with what I was personally trying to deal with on my own, and then this coming to add to it. It was just, and even for a spiritual sense, the fact that when they mentioned KiDi, for that whole period of time, every time my name came up, it was negative.
Yeah.
KiDi, hey, see when you, hey KiDi, I saw you real, hey KiDi, and it's just not a good thing.
KiDi, let me ask this.
Hey,
why haven't you taken them on? Why haven't you decided to teach them a lesson, lack of a better, description? Why? Because to command such a sickness or an ill health about you, you're not
listen.
It's not just defamatory.
When it happened, that was my first point of action. I called Richie. I was like, Richie, every time these things happen, and then we say, cool. We saw the ending. But Richie, this is effed up.
Now they want to kill me.
Yeah. This is effed up. And we were actually going to, but then... No, it's not. Well, there's a mix of that. But I've had like a conversation with a veteran in the industry, a very legendary musician, who told me something like, KiDi, if you ever have to go to court or do any legal thing about anything, if you don't absolutely need to, don't do it.
System failure.
Because you go into it and come out of it more stressed than you went into it.
System failure.
So I thought of already my headache plenty already, So I was like, yes, whoever you are, God is watching. And I miss him. But I have like bigger fish to fry.
Okay.
Like, I have bigger
You
issues.
spoke about the industry, right?
We're coming close to 1 second. We're coming close to Lenny's question. Now we're understanding the process and the things you're going through. So please have that at the back of your mind as well with regards to who you are now. But real quickly, let me just say, discover a world of innovation, a world of luxury, and a world of many of us dream about owning. Discover the world of Bang & Olufsen, now a particularly true brand in the ever-evolving realm of high-end electronics that you might love to own. And I can find the showroom of Bang & Olufsen around in Atlantic Towers, Liberation Road, where each passing day, month, year, you get a variety of drill-worthy electronic gadgets like home theaters, speakers, headphones, television sets, soundbar products, and all these are constantly in store. So Bang & Olufsen, like they say, like no one else. All right, guys, you can throw in back your questions now. We're live on Plus 89.9
Yeah, so I wanted to
FM.
ask about, you mentioned that you spoke to somebody in the industry. I wanted to know what the reaction and your interactions were. Me, I don't call you, but I'm sure a lot of industry people called you. Out of concern, out of curiosity. I mean, is there anything noteworthy that happened on that aspect too? Because seeing your contemporaries or people who are in the same space, Charlie, what they go on, Charlie, the band, be this. So somebody might be able to either relate with you or might be a surprise that some people also will. Just run me through that.
Sorry, I'm sunk.
I will send you invoice.
Anyway, there were a few people that reached out, out of concern, and to be honest, today I'll say this: appreciate everybody that reached out. Everybody, I just kept like it's simple again, because some of these things I kept telling myself, really, really, the truth of the matter is, some people care, but some people really don't. Some people do it for eye service, You're quiet by, me too, I check on Amazon,
Yeah.
So I don't take it, But a lot of things were put in perspective in a time like this for me, A lot of things. That in life, Charlie, the world will always keep going on. So appreciate everybody that checked up. A lot of people actually were concerned and happy.
Any noteworthy personalities? Any unexpected ones?
I don't want to mention names, but like they know themselves, the people that did.
Hey,
Bro, I go make the off your mind.
Lies.
I just want to answer. KiDi, we went. Okay, so sometime I'm sure all this started from quite a while back, but we are picking up a conversation from this year. Now I want to find out what point in time you felt better, because there was VGMAs coming up as well, and conversations on you performing. I mean, first your name wasn't on mentioned, and it came out as a surprise act. So I want to understand the preparation process to VGMA. At what point things were okay enough for you to, come out?
Okay, so in the time where like I was away, I mean, it was a gradual process. Every day was like progress. Every day, it just got to a time where I was like, you know what, the points I made earlier, the world really still goes on. If I personally have succeeded in recalibrating my mind and now changing my outlook on life and a lot of things and how to control myself going forward, I think I'm ready to take on the world again, because to be honest, everybody has bad days. Everybody, they go through them are personal things, but joy comes in the morning because, Charlie, when it happened, you close work at 5, you go out, you cry small, you sleep, you wake up, dust off your shoulder, put on your suit, ready to face the world again, So at a point, I feel like I've reached that point where, okay, I've set my mind right. I know the things that matter to me. I know the things that I need to do. I know that I need to, not be too hard on myself. Just enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, and then everything. I think VGMA even came later after. Like, it wasn't like a thing that we had planned. No. It was later because VGMA had no idea when I was actually going to be.
It was good to see you on that stage, though. I can imagine the number of people who went, very excited.
When I came on, I was like, ooh.
Some two ladies sat in front of me, and when you came, and because you were industry, we could tell that you were coming up next.
Yeah.
But for them, they didn't know.
They didn't know.
So when you came on stage, the way they stood up and blocked me, I said, "Oh, is it because I didn't pay to come or what?"
And I think a time like this also taught me something. I've always known this, but just like this time re-emphasized a lot. That number one, fake news travels at the speed of light.
Charlie,
because the speed at which this thing went bust my mind. Number two, I being a victim of this circumstance taught me that, like I said, I've always known already, but I just re-emphasize that it's not everything you see on the internet that is actually true. There's a lot of forces on the internet. Like, somebody can come and get up and say, hey, ASAP tweeted on Rihanna. We don't care for verification. We don't care if it actually happened. We need a sensationalism. So we go, hey, ASAP, hey, your mother, hey. And everybody jumps and believes everything they see. And a lot of people are always on the internet talking. They say KiDi has shown. Somebody did a thread of possible reasons why he had to show tattoos. Lots of people, please shut up.
What really
experts enough? Was that period
everybody
enough
is
for
an
you?
expert on every topic. That is not.
Is that period enough for you? The solitude. Was it enough time for you?
I mean, if I had my own way, honestly, I would have taken more. If I had my own way. But again, I felt like I reached a place where I think I was okay. I was okay enough to come out.
I want us to come back to the VGMA. Performance anxiety. I understand that most performers have that. I'm not using musicians, I'm using performers because comedians have it. People who act live on stage also have it, right?
It was an all-time high that night.
Okay, great. Now,
it was the worst I've ever experienced on that night.
I just figured that because then you've even also been away for like a bit.
This was going to be my first performance. Like,
exactly.
If you were backstage with me, like the drive from my house to the venue, I was just like,
yeah.
And I've been doing this for like all my life. Why am I anxious?
It's because of the break. But how did you get over that and then come and deliver?
Once it's time for KiDi, and then I remember my set starts with the Undertaker bells, bang, and I was back. I didn't even know it was time for me. So even that added to the pressure because sometimes tell me, oh, it's time for you to go. Then I breathe in, breathe out. I was just there sitting, I head bounce, hey, it's time for us to go. And then I had to like do my breathing and breathe out. And one thing about me, I'm always nervous, but once I step foot on the stage,
that's it.
It melts away, yeah?
It's gone.
KiDi, I want to ask something there, and it's because of what you said prior to this particular answer. First of all, do you have friends in the industry? Like people you can say, these are my friends?
If you asked me this question 2 years ago, I would have said yes. If you ask me this question now, nobody should eat me up, but the honest truth is no.
Okay.
If I say the word friends of what it means, I don't think I have. I have colleagues, people that I'm cordial with, I have people that we have mutual respect for each other. But friends, no, I don't have friends.
One of them said that they showed you where to get healing.
Who's that?
I don't know if you want me to say the name.
But she showed me.
Yes, she showed you where to get healing
for a problem that I didn't have.
So I wanted to find out if you could just clear the air on that. Was it indeed? And first of all, do you have any form of relationship with her?
I don't know her.
Thank you very much, Jay.
But why are you passing it to me?
No, I mean,
did nothing
because
wrong.
he said
I
something.
didn't say anything.
No.
Somebody
No, but do you have an idea who he's referring to?
But you said it.
No, but
I'm coming.
do you know who I'm talking to? Just in case.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to give her airtime. I'm just saying that if
I know I saw it, and then again these days, like as part of my mental recalibration. At first, if a year ago, if I saw this, I was like, "Hey, why?" Now when I see it,
Okay.
yeah,
because why would I?
you see, and
I don't have a liver. I don't have a
asked-
liver disease. I don't have a liver
I asked
issue.
that because of what he said, that often we don't like to do these double checks, and the sensationalist headlines are the ones that often run the most, because it was very, very direct and very detailed that indeed she has a relationship with him. She even called him to show him where to go.
I think she even said management, right?
Well,
Yeah.
no, she talked about spiritual, spiritual.
And I think a lot of people, unfortunately, if I show you my
Yeah.
liver, a lot of people thought I actually meant I have a liver issue. But I always say that. No, because I study literature in school. So in my writing, I try to use, liver in this sense, like I said, connection with alcohol. There was a line there that was silent. If I show you my liver for you to see how much alcohol I've taken. But because that line was silent, everybody's, hey, liver, hey, you get liver disease. But, a lot of people deal with what they deal with in different ways. Some have families who help them.
Yeah.
Some people don't. Some people drugs, some people alcohol. I'm not saying it's good, but that song, as much as it's what I was going through, it still covers like what other people used to cope. So the liver there was just me saying. So when I saw people saying, why do you come and lie to us that I have a liver disease? I never said I have a liver disease.
Can I hold brief for the fans, please? The Ghana Association of Fans, of Artist Fans, Ghana Association of
Gaff.
I want to speak on behalf of the fans.
Gaffs.
The fans relate to your next PR, and that will be your music. The first one that they can relate to. So they might be right in picking off the.
Oh no, I'm not. Like I said, if music is open, arts in general is open to interpretation.
Yeah.
So when you're allowed to see how you understand it.
Yeah, sure.
But now when you go beyond how you think you understand it to attack because you think that's what,
or
that's
changing
where
it to fact.
People still on gaff. People.
Why did I even give this guy this thing right now?
Like I'm literally making reference to someone who took this whole thing World Cup.
Yeah.
And was.
And I felt bad about those things because all I could think about is this person that started this thing. Why have you done this to myself, my family, and all these people who are genuinely concerned?
Yeah.
It's
because people.
I feel like people like that, probably, I don't know who he is exactly, but he might not have a family. Because when you have a family and you have conscience, certain things you won't do because you put yourself in the people's shoes. Like you said, people literally took this. If I tell you the cause.
Can imagine.
Did you have calls from people in power?
No.
Industry leaders. Okay. I want to know.
KiDi.
Do you know why I'm asking? I'm asking why
after learning
the musical conversation.
Maybe I did that.
KiDi, are you a member of music?
Gaff.
Are you a member of music?
He's a member of Gaff.
He's not a member of music, so don't worry.
He's a Gaff. He's a member of Gaff.
Ghana Association
A member of everything.
A member of everything.
No, you mentioned coping mechanisms, right? Yeah. Some people do drugs, some people drink, some people, How are you coping now? You've come, so something was wrong, quote unquote. You took the time to isolate, to hit factory reset.
My number one coping has been my family and my friends.
And Arsenal matches.
And doing what?
Actually, that is day the last and day the last.
Arsenal's been winning streak.
Bro, but like
I beg you, I look the table, they top. So I don't know where you sport.
Wow,
the longest running top table in the league, please. That's our award for this season. Anyway, earlier I said having people you can talk to without the fear of shame and judgment as being my number one. Like sometimes when something happens, when you open your mouth and say it out loud to people, we're listening. It takes the
problem shared is half solved, right?
Yeah.
Like people who are actually wise and give wise counsel and guide you, it's very important. And that has I'm being blessed with that too. I keep saying I've been really blessed.
How are we not going to see another burnout in 5 years?
Okay.
What have we done?
There's no
apart from the talking more and having a support system now that's closer and everything. There's still more work to be done.
We don't
and
even
all
scratch
that
the surface.
exactly. And you mentioned your first submission that is like you look at yourself and things you wanted to achieve, you've not got to blah blah. So it sounds to me like you're even about to speed up.
Second year, third year.
Bro, now before exhaust day come cry.
Yeah. But KiDi, you also mentioned.
Can he answer your question?
My no was finished.
Oh, C is not done.
Yes.
Why Gaff coming to
Gaff the enter. He like that.
Is that
as well.
Yeah.
Live on Plus
You
FM
can sign out
of 10 o'clock. Get to sign out. Sorry for this culture, Plus FM, but definitely we'll stick to our time in future. But if you want to follow the conversation, we are still on there for the next 5 minutes. We are on here to wrap it up. But if the podcast will be on YouTube, you can check it out later on in the day, as well as tonight at 10 p.m. Right here on 3 Music. Thank you, Plus FM. All right,
because bro, a few days where you take off, almost 100 days where you take off, this they kill you for the press inside. If you take off another 200, yeah, bro, we'll go do film now.
But in life,
God forbid.
You know what I mean. They'll take it to the extreme.
In life, I realized that certain new things happen in your life, and you probably didn't know how to deal with it. But it happens for you to learn how to deal with it. Yeah. So there's no guarantee that I will not have another burnout because, like you said, there's more work to be done. But now I know that when such a thing happens, okay, I can do this and this and this, and then be ready to go again. So it's a learning experience as we go.
How did Richie take this?
Yeah, we all suffer. We suffer. At a point, I had to Richie, calm. And he's been very supportive in all of this as well.
Very supportive, boss supportive, or big bro supportive.
No, that's one thing that I learned from this. The whole process, he was never a boss. He was never in a capacity of a boss. The capacity of
record label. If you call and say, yeah, sorry about that, but we need your studio at 2.
The first day, I woke up. I was in New York, and I woke up, and I had the painful for me to come to that admission to myself that the tour wasn't going to happen. It was a painful admission. And the first day I had that admission, the first thing I called was Richie. And I didn't know how, because we forgot to do the work for go on. But when I spoke to him, Richie, I want to talk to you about something. I told him, I understand. I'll do everything that needs to be done so that we put out a statement and take your time. Take all the time you need. When you're well, we go back to
That's
work.
nice.
Shout out to Richard.
That's nice.
Richard. Not everybody get that.
Let me ask the last question that you were going to ask. The first question you asked that I made a point.
I told you to write it down. You didn't write it down.
I mean, I remember it. It's with regards to who the new KiDi now that we're seeing.
Like I said, there's
how do you feel now?
Recalibration of the mental. I said in an earlier interview I did that a lot of things where they worry it did on our own minds. A lot of things that the problem, some problems are really real and tangible, but some problems are created in our minds because we overstress, we overtry to. I've told myself, if something happens now, can I fix it? If yes, fix it. I can't fix it. No, I can't fix it. If I stress, it will add to my BP. Move on. Let things be. Let things flow. Let life flow through you. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. People can be down. Even after all this, I can still be down.
Yeah.
Go back, sleep. My support systems, speak to them, revamp, recalibrate, recharge, go back. Life is, to be honest, we don't have anything figured out. You don't know what you will do tomorrow. I don't know what will happen to me tomorrow.
Fact.
We don't have life figured out. We should be kind to each other, because we are all trying to figure out what we'll do tomorrow, what our next move will be,
Your submission sounds a lot like the Serenity Prayer. God grant me the strength to
accept the
things I can change.
Yes, that is actually one of
spirituality. Yep. Like, what has God, religion, prayer been in this whole journey?
It's been very eye-opening. I mean, I've always been a Christian. I've always grown up Christian. My family Christian, but having that knowing that God is also there, always there for you, even if man fails you, I know that there is peace in knowing that God is there and He hears my prayer when I open my mouth and say a word of prayer. everything will be fine.
Do you have any spiritual guidance? Did you fall back on any spiritual authority when you were, down and
My
under?
dad is a pastor as well. So in all of this, he was a solid rock as well, praying constantly for me, and it helped a lot.
Your support system no bad.
Nice.
Everybody needs people that they can fall back on. But one thing I also like to tell people is, as much as we all need people to fall back on, we should also endeavor to be people that people can fall on.
So check on your strong friends.
Yeah.
So as every day you go tell your problems, hey, today. Sometimes I also ask them, say, you to be okay. So you can get carried away and always go with your problems, but sometimes be a listening ear as well.
So I wanted to find out from him how the winning streak of Arsenal has also helped or contributed to your mental health.
The short-lived winning streak. For categories of things. Don't lie the man.
No, let him enjoy his moment. Come on now. After how many years? They almost had it. I mean,
almost doesn't count.
Yes, almost an award.
Almost an award.
Those of us who know you know that you love Arsenal so much. So
we believe again.
Come on.
We believe again. I know we'll be back. A famous artist from Ghana, Kwewu Singer, said, "I will be back." And Arsenal, we know, yes, we almost got there, but it's again, we live, we learn, we'll fix our mistakes, buy new players. Next year, City, Pep, we're coming for you.
They say
that robot you have in your team, that AI.
That AI, it'll be AI. So what's the new thing after the release of the song?
Yes, so again, at a point in the solitude, if I may call it, there was a point where I went through that of not thinking about music, but there was a point where I failed. That's the point. So I did a lot of sessions, and most of the music I made in these times, it will be out on the album.
Oh, there's a new album coming out.
Yeah, I don't know when yet, but it's like we're still
pressure.
No, yeah.
Before we go,
but I totally understand how that will happen, Jay. Yeah.
For the past 1 hour, that he has to.
He went for a writing session.
No, but I totally understand how that will happen, considering how much he loves music, right? Yes. Because that in a form it's therapy for him, exactly.
Yeah, but it also caused the burnout.
Makes sense. It caused the burnout, yes, but that is that very thing that will be. It's just like. Exactly, right? So it's your curse and your blessing at the same time.
We're writing I Lied, right? When I wrote that part, I mean, we did pass the songs, and then later I came to finish. The day I wrote, if I show you my liver, and I sent like a voice note to like my people, everyone was like, "E."
Bro, should we talk?
We'll not say, but
why too serious?
Yeah, but I was like, I want to shift into the gear where I'll do things and even say to myself. The things that scare me, the things that I would be afraid to do. I want to shift into that gear, Okay.
Talking about shifting into gears, are we going to see the old KiDi, the R&B KiDi on this new album?
You see all the kiddies.
Oh, like that.
Okay. They say when you write records out of what you go through, it's no longer Afrobeat, it's Afro grief.
Afro grief. Right. They said I lied. The word Afro.
I'm telling you. Malay also says Afro depression.
If I release music again, the genre will be Afro tire.
Have you seen all of us here? Nobody is actually asking you to go and relax. Or I'm just telling you that.
Oh, I told him.
I told him. Go home, go and relax. Don't mind Jay.
Jay, why are you? In the end, the person who sent him a message, you don't even check on the person.
As president of GAF, the Ghana Association of.
Oh, but also like you guys, since I came here, Jay, are you okay?
Yeah.
Only are you okay? Lenny, are you okay?
Yeah. My problems are financial. So
are you okay? Don't make her cry. You make we finish the show one at a time. Finish your own. They go do
last night. So my daughter calls and then she tries to be good that she read a book and she wants McDonald's. And I can just say to myself that your problems
McDonald's, Charlie.
Like put that my problem. Hey, like I go see the shop.
We make them like kids.
Exactly. Isn't that the beauty of being little? Like you only go to find out that my best days.
When we were kids, at least we wanted to grow up and get into certain spaces.
Charlie.
Now we grow as a bit trap.
Yeah.
Anyways, so guys, it's been good having this convo with KiDi. Thank you so much. Apologies if any question was a bit too hard, but we're still having a vibe.
No, I get it.
Your welfare to us is key, and the people who are millions of people around the world who are equally showing concern as we have done.
Appreciate every single one of them.
Thank you so much, and we're looking out for that album. Yeah. In the meantime,
I beg, make no pressure.
No pressure at all.
Don't push me. I will drop it in style.
Album will come when it comes.
I will drop it in style. Don't push me.
In the meantime, I'm going to watch the song because it was right in my face. When him and Kwame Ijo were singing the song together.
I'm going to go and watch the song right in my face.
Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm done. Bye bye. I'm gone. All right.
Have a good weekend.
Remember, stream my live. Yeah, I want to hear your stories. Keep sending them on the TikToks, on the Instagram reels. Yeah,
that's what's up. All right, and we are out.